Today, we're going to be looking at some brand new, absolutely beautiful, just released yarn from crochet.com. But if this is your very first time here, I'm Alicia of Little John Yarns. So please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell, because if you love yarn porn like I do, you'll like this channel. So today we got a little bit of something for everybody. We got something with finger weight yarn all the way up to super bulky yarn. If you love alpaca, merino, or alpaca merino blend, we got it here for you today. So I'm not going to talk too much. The first yarn that we're going to be looking at, if you love an airy, lightweight yarn, this Elixer yarn is for you. So let's take this down to the table and see how it looks up close. This is the Elixer yarn. This is made from 45% superfine alpaca, 35% merino wool, and 20% linen. The recommended crochet hook size is B through E. That's about a 2.5 millimeter to a 3.5 millimeter hook. As you can see, the beautiful merino and alpaca blend has a beautifully dyed color. It comes in many other colors, but if you look close, that 20% of linen is black. It's woven into each strand. That is absolutely gorgeous. This extra piece of linen gives like your yarn an extra sturdiness to any one of your projects. So let's take a closer look at this and see how it works up. Here is a swatch of this yarn worked up, and it's a beautiful yarn. What I like most about this yarn is that little piece of black linen that's woven in between each piece of merino wool and alpaca. It gives it a very dark edge, like a witchy look to it. I know it's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but maybe let's come on, zoom right there. Can you see how the darkness is like a shadow behind the color? Absolutely love that. Let me turn it to the side so you can see there's like a little fuzz to the yarn because it's like a heather yarn. If you do go to unravel this, since there is a slight fuzz, you might notice some snagging. But while I was crocheting with no mistakes, I didn't notice any type of splitting of the yarn while working with it, because that can be a problem with some yarns like this. But I didn't notice any splitting. And here we go. And it works up pretty nicely. This would be great, like I said, for if you're making with a loose gauge, wraps, shawls, pullovers, or if you're working with like a tighter gauge. This would be nice with maybe some fingerless gloves or something like that. So definitely like this. Let's move on to the next one. If you care about waste and how things are made, you're gonna love this yarn. This is called the Upcycle Alpaca blend at KnitPicks/crochet.com. They're both sister companies and carry the same yarn. When their mill spins yarn, they always have a little bit left over at the end of each batch. So with these small batches, they blend all these high quality fibers together to make this so nothing goes to waste. But just so you know, this is a limited time offer. But when you buy this yarn, make sure you get all the yarn that you need, because each batch may be slightly different, because no waste, we're blending yarns together. So this comes in a worsted weight, which is right here. This is the color lilac, and you also can get it in a sports weight. This is in the color pearl. So let me tell you exactly what's in these. You'll receive, what is made of is 33% alpaca, 34% wool, and 33% acrylic. In each ball, you'll get, in the sports weight, this one, you'll get 273 yards of yarn, and in the worsted weight, you'll get 219 yards of yarn. This is a very lightweight yarn. It's very pretty. I can see this being worked on a nice flowy sweater. I can see like the drape would be extremely nice. So I'm going to take this and crochet up 2 batches and see how, so we can all see exactly how it works up. Right now we're looking at the worsted weight swatch. Now that I have this swatch worked up, I can truly see all the multiple colors in this yarn. Yes, this is lilac, but if you look close, I see hints of so many other colors. I guess that's why they recommend, if you're buying this yarn, make sure you buy all the yarn that you need for whatever project you have, because colors may vary. I found this yarn very easy to work with. I feel like it's a little bit lighter than a worsted weight yarn, maybe slightly smaller, like a DK yarn, even though the package says worsted weight. I had no problems crocheting with this. It's absolutely beautiful, and no splits. And yes, there is a little slight fuzz to this, but when you go to unravel it, if you have an accident and you need to frog, it does not snag together and it won't stick too bad. You might get some if you pull very quickly, but it's absolutely not a problem. And it's beautiful. So let's check out the same brand, but this one is, what is it, the fingering weight yarn. Of course I used a different stitch because I was a little bit lazy to do this one. And same thing, beautiful. Even though this is gray, the colors, I wish the camera picked it up better. It's like it's so many different colors of gray. Actually, this one is called Black Pearl. So I guess, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's not black, it looks gray, but it has a hint of something shiny, but it doesn't shine at all. Hope that makes sense. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Soft yarn to the feel. It has a nice touch to it. I can see this being made with, once again, cardigans, shawls, something that you're gonna wear against your skin because it feels so nice. I love this Upcycle Alpaca yarn. And I feel like I'm saving the environment all at the same time while crocheting. Definitely like this and recommend it. She is thick, she is beautiful, she is colorful. She's also a little bit expensive, but this is a crocheter's dream right here. This is the sexiest yarn I've ever laid my eyes on. This is called the Array yarn. Array is a super chunky single ply yarn made up of 100% merino and hand painted with splashes of vivid color. Before I get into the detail of this yarn, let's just take a closer look. Look how beautiful this is. It's kind of like a roving yarn. So whenever you work with this yarn, please be careful how you wash it. Wash by hand. Don't put it into the dryer. Things will mat up. But it is absolutely gorgeous. All right, let me tell you a little bit about it. This is a super bulky yarn. It's made from 100% merino wool and you receive 52 yards of yarn. The recommended hook size is a end crochet hook. That is a pretty big crochet hook, but you know, I love to crochet big things. I'm really not into the sports weight, finger weight yarn. This is where it's at. I can see this on a faux knit hat, you know, the crochet stitch where it looks like a knit stitch. This is gorgeous. The company recommends you can, if you use this with a loose gauge, you can make projects like wraps, shawls, pullovers, cardigans, cows. I don't know so much about a wrap, but maybe a pullover. You would need a lot of yarn for this. Since this yarn costs about $18.99, I would probably just make something smaller like a hat. They recommend with a tighter gauge, you can make like fingerless gloves, hats, but the looser gauge, like I said, wraps and pullovers. Let's just take one more close look at this up close. Oh, all right, so now we're gonna take it down to the table and give it a crochet and see how it looks worked up. Out of all the yarns that we looked at so far today, this is my absolute favorite. It is gorgeous. Look at how the color pops on each one of these stitches. Each one of these stitches almost looks delicious, like I can take a bite out of it. The yarn makes every stitch looks extra juicy. This is a roving yarn, so you're going to want to be careful when you're crocheting. I mean, not when you're crocheting, when you're washing it. Please don't stick it in the dryer. Follow the manufacturer's recommended washing guide. But this is a roving yarn. It's thicker. Let's give it the frog test to see if it catches. I didn't think it would catch. This yarn is so thick, you're not going to have to worry about things catching on it. And it's super easy to crochet with. I was working this with I can't remember the name of this crochet knit stitch. If you know, comment down below. But like I said, absolutely no problem crocheting with it. I get to use a big, huge end hook. Oh, guys, please get this yarn. It is the sexiest yarn I've ever bought. So I guess this is all I can say about this one. Let's take it back up to the table for my final review. I hope you enjoyed this review. All yarns will be linked down in the description box below. And for this sexy array yarn, love it. This is going to be released in November, so I will put that link as soon as it drops. It'll be down in the description box below. All right, guys, make sure you check out my other yarn review videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.